everyone, welcome back to Zero Generation. Today is our second episode and we have my friend Sadiq here, who's very really not in film industry fully. So I'm really appreciate you coming here today to share your experience as a foreigner and also in a different industry than myself. So you want to talk a little bit about yourself? Like, where are you from?
Well, my name is Sadiq, but Echi already said that. Sadiq. I was born and raised in Ghana, and I live in Los Angeles now. And if I were to do one thing forever for money and to get paid, it'd be acting. But I am in the tech industry. I went to school for computer science, and I work in tech. So that's kind of how I pay the bills in LA. Mm-hmm. I did all my schooling in Ghana up until high school, graduated high school, and then came to the United States for college. Mm-hmm. But I went to New York for college and then graduated and moved to Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I see. So you have been in America for
about 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah,
nice.
For about 10 years. That's a good guess. I wonder how you knew that.
Math.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well.
So no matter it's like New York or Los Angeles, I want to ask, like, what is that thing that you find very intriguing when you first coming to America?
Something intriguing. Something
or something even now you find that's weird.
There's quite a number. I think America is a great country, but it's also kind of messed up. It's okay to acknowledge it and just like live in it. But I came here in 2013 and I went to upstate New York. Upstate New York is predominantly white, a lot of mountains, and the amount of snow I saw was a little overwhelming for the first year. I mean, it's not a weird thing, but a guy coming from Ghana, I only saw snow in movies, cartoons, or in my deep freezer. The frost in the freezer. That's we called it snow back home.
And now it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's like so that's that seeing snow in New York was cute at first. It started in it starts in like November, December, and then like January, February. It's like, God, make it stop. Like your nose, fingertips, your ears. And then people's like. PDA I thought was a little weird in America. Public display of affection. The way people would just like, it's okay. I don't judge it now, but it was like a new thing. Kissing and just like, on the streets, in the bus, like, It wasn't something I was used to, and just a few other things. People's eating habits. People like eating cold food and stuff, cold pizza. Yeah, but that's just me. Yeah.
Got it. How about on a more serious tone? Is there something that you feel like is your biggest fear living in America? Like on the last episode, Mochi and I would talk about like homelessness, like something that you never wanted to happen while you're in America.
Yes, and it's not being homeless. It's more so being killed. I've never had to fear for my life walking outside of my house until I came to America. More so LA. In New York I was fine because I was a student. I watch, I don't know if I've just been exposed to the wrong news, but I see a lot of things. Yeah, I see a lot of things on social media. A lot of reckless driving, DUIs, gang culture. When I first moved to Los Angeles, I wasn't in a neighborhood I would necessarily call safe. Even if you're not looking for trouble, like me, I wasn't looking for trouble. I'm a kid from Ghana. I don't rep any gangs here. You're still subject to some tomfoolery. People trying to cause problems. It's more so that I've been worried about that just because of how I look and just like the way I carry myself, which I carry myself in a respectable way, but just sometimes looks, people just get the wrong idea.
Mm-hmm. Also, it's sad when you died in a different country. Like, they're gonna put your body on a plane. Yeah. Knock on wood. This is fake.
Yeah.
But you need to, or your family need to fly here. It's like,
I was born Muslim. I am Muslim. And in the religion, if you pass, you have to be buried the same day.
So they need to fly you back.
Yeah. Or if you pass that night, they bury you the next day. But if you pass it during the day, morning, afternoon, you get buried the same day.
But the flight is like...
Yeah, so I don't even know the answer to that. I haven't even thought of that. So I don't know what would happen. Yeah, but
that is...
But it's not, you know, it's
Scary.
nothing to think about because I'm not gonna die here.
I know. You're immortal.
Yeah, Muslims from Ghana have 3 lives, but never mind. It's
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, speaking of Ghana, could you share with us, like, when you miss home, what do you do to help you feel better?
When I speak to people who are in Ghana and they update me with what's going on, it's, you know, it makes me feel a little bit homesick. When I get sick and tired of American food, I feel homesick. I feel like everyone needs to take a break from Los Angeles, if not America. There's a pace that this city is moving that I feel like people have to just like go home and just like refresh for a bit. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but sometimes I live in LA to a point where I'm like, I need a break from this, you know, that. And
Always toxic.
yeah. It's toxic, you know, in LA. Sometimes it's also a very fun place. And sometimes it's tough, you know, because you're away from home. Sometimes friends can pass. It's actually one of the toughest things being an international student or just a foreigner working and living here. There's a life that you've left behind. You haven't necessarily left it behind, but there's a life that's, you know, across the sea. Yeah, that is like, you know, you can't really be there. And it can get sad, you know.
So what do? You know, some comfort.
Even though speaking to people from home makes me homesick, sometimes speaking to people from home helps because they remind you that you're here for a purpose. And, you know, as much as you miss home, you're better off than a lot of people. You know, in general, I don't mean to speak for everyone's situation, but in my situation, I could have been worse off. Or doing something less lucrative financially back home. So sometimes I'm reminded of that. And just knowing that I can always plan a visit now helps, you know, when I talk to people back home. Also, meeting up with fellow Ghanaians in LA, it makes me feel less homesick. I play soccer every Saturday, sometimes at USC, sometimes at Pan Pacific Park. It makes me feel better because I play with Ghanaians and Nigerians. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, same. For me, when I meet like a Taiwanese person, that was like the first time we met, I'll be like, Taiwanese.
Yeah.
That's a good way to make you feel less lonely. Yeah. And you say now you can like travel back home whenever you want. That's really good because nothing beat being home.
Yeah, home is home. Where even though we live here, it's still not home. It's home, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's like...
But is there like a moment or some circumstance make you feel like I'm not an alien? I mean...
Are there things that happen here that make me feel more accepted, right?
Yeah. Like for me, sometimes just by writing down my address or writing down my car plate number make me feel like I'm not a tourist, you know?
Just like sometimes looking at your ID, you know, seeing like California driver's license, seeing that it's a real ID with the bear, you know, it kind of makes it feel like, oh, I'm here, I live here, I'm a resident, you know? Other things is, I watch anime, so I know that sounds off and unrelated to what you asked me, but meeting other people in the anime community, because I didn't pick up anime in America. It's something that I watched and picked up in Ghana. So when I talk to other people in that community here, it makes me feel, you know, not too much like of an alien, of a foreigner. Yeah, if that makes sense to you.
You're saying kind of like anime is
it's like a connector of different
like
cultures.
International language.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I feel that. It's so funny because back home we watch like Naruto, we watch One Piece, and we basically, at least for my age, we grew up with it. So for me, sometime watching anime here remind me of like home, but meanwhile, they are so popular here too.
Yeah.
So you're like, I'm not that different.
And it's interesting because anime is not something of American origin. It's also not from Ghana. It's Japanese.
Yeah.
But it's making a Ghanaian feel at home in America. It's kind of interesting if you ask me. It's just, yeah.
Okay, the next question is a little bit more interesting. How has your love life been since you moved to America? No matter on the East Coast, West Coast. Like, did you meet someone at school, workplace?
I feel like your love life in America as a foreigner depends on when you move to America.
Like what age?
Yes. Depends on what age you move to America, and I can elaborate more on that. If you move here at age 9 or 8, you're essentially not even a teenager yet. You're going to grow into your teenage years in America, and I feel like you're gonna develop more like feelings and affections for other people at a young age, and it's like you learn how to do that here. There's a way that it's done. Cultures are different. But growing up in Ghana, I came here at age 18. I'd already like fallen in love before. I'd already had a crush on someone. I'd already been in a relationship. The dynamics change when you come to America. It's like the way you ask a girl out on a date is different. Cultures are just different. The way you impress a girl is different, or and vice versa. The way a girl would impress a guy is different. So I feel like when I first came to America, it was a little bit non-existent. Didn't really have a love life. Not that I was looking for a partner, but I found that whenever I found someone attractive and I had feelings for them, it was more challenging to express my feelings for 2 reasons. Just because I feel like it was an easier thing to do back home. And also I considered myself a shy. I was shy younger, and coming to America.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a shy person, which I think I've grown out of. I'm still shy, but it's like it's not shown. So my love life it's been okay. When I first came, it's not something I was actively looking for. There were people that I met. Some people are fascinated that you're a foreigner. Some people don't want to go through the hurdles of learning to love a foreigner. So it's 50-50, It really depends on if you're looking for love. But me personally, it's been, I don't know if I would give it an overall positive or a negative, like, conclusion, feedback. Yeah, I've met people, it's gone well, and... But overall, it's been I'd say a good experience. Yeah.
Got it.
Also, a sad fact about life is, it always matters what you look like. And I think I look good. So it's been in my favor. Yeah.
Okay. You do look good.
Thank you. Likewise.
Okay. Speaking of you say some people don't want to go through the, like, not even learning your language, but just learn to be in a relationship with someone who have a total different background. Yeah. Some people think it's hard. I mean, it is hard. It's a big challenge. Yeah. And I want to talk about that sometime. We as a foreigner, we came here for a long time, for years, and sometimes you kind of disconnect with your original culture. So is there something you would do here, like on a daily basis, or is there a way for you to always to feel like connected with your roots?
Going to the mosque for me. Yeah. I'm Muslim, so I do Jummah prayers. Jummah prayers is essentially just it's gathering at a mosque on Fridays for a prayer. Muslims pray 5 times a day. There's a specific prayer that's done at the mosque for Jummah prayers. It's the second prayer of the day. That would be the number one thing that actually makes me feel more connected to Ghana. Because growing up in Ghana, I was surrounded by a Muslim community. And that's how we always prayed together. So whenever I go to the mosque on Fridays, I see other Muslims, and 100% of the time, the other black people in the mosque are African and Muslim like me. So it just makes me feel at home.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks ago or about 3 weeks ago, I was at the mosque and I met this guy who was from Ghana and happened to speak Hausa, which is my mother's language, and we were conversating. And speaking Hausa with someone in America is like, it feels like you're being transported to Ghana, you know. It's like, yeah.
Aw, that's really nice.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like when I heard somebody cursed in Taiwanese.
In Taiwanese.
Like, people say it sounds very harsh or like impolite, but if somebody, I'm gonna say it, if I heard like 靠背,
what does that mean?
On the street, I'll be like, Taiwanese?
But I'm pretty sure, like, I'm sure it means something horrible.
I mean, it's not too horrible. 靠背 is like...
靠背. No, I'm just trying to... Yeah.
It's like crying for your father. So it's kind of, how do you... I need my camera person. Doctor, how would you say 靠背? How do you translate that into English?
Original wise, it's like crying for your father when in front of his tomb. It's like a tradition.
But why is it a curse? Why is it a curse word?
Original that was, and later now it's crying for no reason.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what are you picturing?
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah. For me, when I hear 靠背 on the street, most likely they are Taiwanese, and they are not like immigrants. They are born and raised in Taiwan, and I will be like, they make me feel like transporting me back home. So yeah, I totally agree. When you say you meet like same kind of religion, speak the same language, definitely help you stay connected with your roots.
Other than hearing like a person speak Taiwanese, is there anything else that makes you feel more connected to your roots?
I will say I want to say duck blood, but it's so hard to get it here in America. It's like a blackish, purplish tofu texture like food, and you eat it spicy or not spicy, but it's like my favorite food when I'm back home in Taiwan. Like I will eat, not like every day, but every week I will have duck blood. And here, if I see, it's so rare here. My father told me that it might be a like hygiene concern.
Oh, okay.
Because they don't know how to make it properly here.
Okay.
So they don't sell it here. But in Taiwan, it's like totally safe.
Is there anything here that tastes very similar to duck blood, but it's not duck blood?
I will say probably tofu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but better than tofu.
Okay.
Okay. And move on to our next question. When is the most difficult time that you feel like, I might not make it, like I might just want to go home?
There have been difficult times, but I've never really thought, oh, I might not make it. I might have to go home. I've been worried about, I scratch that. I've thought about not making it, but that's when I had just graduated and I was in the process of finding a job in Los Angeles. So I feel like that's different because as a foreigner, there are periods where it's just, it almost feels like the system is designed to be difficult. The system is designed to work against you. And that's when you graduate from college and you're looking for work. You apply for OPT. You're given 3 months to find a job in a field that you've never worked professionally in. You're expected to have 4 years of experience or whatever when you just graduated college. Yeah. In June of 2021, my last grandparent passed away, my mother's mom.
Yeah. And
one of the last things I discussed with her was, me being able to visit her. And the moment I got my green card, she passed away. So that was a little heart-wrecking, but it's just, I signed up for it. I decided to move from Ghana and live in another country. And like I said, as a Muslim, you pass away, you get buried the same day. So it all happened fast. Yeah. Imagine you wake up one day and by the time you're going to bed, your grandmother is like buried and everything. No chance to even fly back. No one, your family's not going to wait for you. I don't even want them to wait for me. It's just the culture. So it's stuff like that. 2 days ago, I lost a friend of 18 years. that was hard. I was at work, started crying, and I had to leave. And in that moment, I wished I was in Ghana. He's going to have a funeral. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it or not. So it's just like things like that, you know. So yeah, didn't mean to make this conversation a grim one. You know, we're all happy,
totally
but
understand.
yeah.
I remember in 2020, I wasn't supposed to go home because I literally just arrived. But you know, pandemic happened, so I flew back home like for a couple months. And during the time I was in Taiwan, one of my cats passed away, and my grandpa on my mom's side also passed away. And I was like, if it wasn't for pandemic, I won't even be in Taiwan. I won't be able to go to the funeral or So I totally agree. That is, you feel like, I feel lucky that I was by my family's side when that happened. But I bet there's a lot of international students or just international worker, they have the same.
Yeah.
Like
Same scenario. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. It's hard. Really hard.
Yeah, but we make it work. You know, it's we're here for a reason. Some people come here and can't handle it, so they move back. They just can't cope with the environment. I feel like most international students and foreigners who are here and thriving are naturally open-minded and creative people. It's like
very
adventurous. Yeah, you can't be closed-minded and thrive in America from a different country. Yeah,
that's a good point. Speaking of some people just, you know, flew back home, have you ever imagined
what my life would have been if I never
right
came?
Now, if you spend the last 10 years back in Ghana?
Yes. A part of me thinks I would have advanced more in a creative sense because I would have stayed in my niche. I would have stayed in an environment that I knew how to humor. Like growing up, I was a class clown. Every single one of my friends I've made laugh. Like I'm known to be the funny guy. Coming into America, I kind of had to. I stayed funny, but you know, trauma and just like getting to a new environment and just like being young and making certain poor choices that led into other trouble and just like, you know, things kind of dim your light a little. I feel like if I had stayed back home, I would have been in that environment and just would have been better. I feel like we are lucky because we lived through a very, very important transformation of social media and the internet. And just like TikTok, Instagram, everything about social media just had a very transformative phase.
You mean like Twitter turned to X?
Right. That, yeah, but that's, that is an example. But I'm talking about more so like content creation became a thing in the last 7 years or 10 years. Like it became much bigger.
Yeah. You cannot say I'm a content creator back in
as a job. You tell people that they'll look at you funny. Yes. Yeah. So I'm saying I feel like if I had stayed back home, I maybe would have advanced a lot in a creative sense. You know, I don't know if it would have been creating skits, short films, movies. Like I said, I work in tech, but my passion is also acting. It's something that I've wanted to do since a young age, but I also have a great love for technology, so I'm doing both in Los Angeles. So yeah, I feel like I've missed out a little, but also I have also made a lot of connections and learned so much in being in America. I've had experiences and been in situations that I'm grateful for. It's also, I've met people that I'm very, very thankful that I've met. Very grateful for meeting a lot of people. People I never would have met and learned from if I had never come to America. So it's you give and take. It's 50-50. You take the good with the bad, you know. Yeah. And
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Okay, the very last question is, what advice will you give to those people who are coming here for their, no matter bachelor degree, master degree, or just, you know, start working in the industry?
a lot of people go to college not knowing what to major in. It's fine, but it's not that fine. It's fine for only some time. For the first year, second year, I think it's very important to know what you want to do if you're pursuing college in America. You don't go to a different country for school and not know what you want to study.
So know what you want.
Yeah, know what you want. Be fully aware that you're entering a new environment.
Don't believe everything you have seen in the movies.
Yes. And like the things that the kind of advice I'm giving, they're not easy. It's not easy to tell an 18-year-old know what you want before you. It's not easy, you know. I feel like the number one advice is to acknowledge and just understand that you're taking a risk. Because at the age of 22, 23, whenever you graduate undergrad, you have to make a choice that affects the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Do I stay in this country or do I go back home? Whatever decision you make changes your life forever. I would have been an entirely different person if I went back home after graduation 2017. But I stayed. So, alternate reality. I don't know what I would have been, Yeah. So I think I would just talk to whoever about that. After 4 years, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay here? If you want to stay here, make the plans, like start planning 2 years before graduation. Yeah. Reach out to people who've stayed here doing what you want to do. Talk to them. Create those connections. Yeah. If you want to go back home, then that's fine. Just like do what you have to do here. Focus on your studies and
Got it.
Yeah.
So basically, know what you want to do and then get to know the people who's already doing that. Learn from their experience.
And if you're coming, no half measures. It's like, by half measure, I mean, don't partially gauge your goals. Just like if you've decided that this is your goal and this is what you want to come and do here, come do it. Don't be like, oh, I'll give it a shot. If it doesn't work, I'll go back home or I'll do something else. Nah, that's no half measures. Yeah. Just like full measure. Do it.
100%.
100%.
No cap.
No cap.
On God.
Yeah.
Deadass.
Deadass, low key. Yeah.
Thank you for watching and listening to our second episode.
Okay.
That is for today. Thank you so much for coming. And if you are loving our content, please hit that like button, subscription button, and share this to your friends who want to come to America or still trying to figure out they want to or not. Okay. Bye, everyone. Cut.
Yeah. I just realized I forgot to talk about my job and what I actually do.
I mean, the information side explain more, at least.
All right.